I only have one seedling. It takes the energy from the plant. Hello everyone, how are you doing? It's been a long day. I am so tired. And I know parenting is not easy. It's, time to transplant this lupin, my babies. And this year, I really need to pay attention to them because I have been failing them for 2 or 3 years. My first year I have full success with them because I pay every micro laser, laser focus attention to them. But in last year and the previous year I didn't pay attention to them at all, and I just throw the seed in the garden and end up they don't make it. So I'm gonna very gently take this out. Look at the root system. This is very healthy. Now I'm gonna drop it here. It's so funny that while I am having hard time growing lupins here in my garden in New Jersey, lupin is considered invasive species in Denmark and some area in the US. And the reason why we have to transplant them now because we don't want this baby to get root bound. You don't want the root of the seedling to choke themselves. Okay? So that's why they need to be in a bigger pot so this root can spread out more and they will love you so much. And you can see here I don't push the plant to the pot at all. I just fill the dirt around it. And that's because I don't want to hurt the roots. Just gonna shake it a little bit. And now I'm gonna use water to glue everything together. You can see the soil sink a little bit, which is good. And we want to use this water to eliminate the air bubbles inside the pot. And now you can backfill the dirt a little bit, just on top because the soil sink. And these babies, they are too young to transplant. I want to let them grow a little bit, just to about this size. Then I am going to transplant them later. If you transplant them now, they can get shocked because they are like babies, and babies hate traveling. We don't want to travel them to the big pot yet. They don't like to be wake up too, so I cannot separate these two, and that's why I have been thinning them. I'm gonna take this out. I'm sorry. Rinse this off. We don't want to have them sit in the water because that can rot the roots. Put them back under grow light. This one gonna stay here. In the last video, I talked about why I don't like to germinate old seeds. And here is why. This is Lysianthus old seed that I germinated. You can see here. I started this a month ago along with the other kinds of Lysianthus, but these seeds are older. And I have to keep the lid on this tray because they have not germinated. And a month later, you can see I only have one seedling here. And because I covered the box, with the lid, it's so humid and it's so heated, so the mold and algae grow all over the place. And I swear I saw a lot of seed here and only one germinate. Actually, there's one more seed right here, but it's like buried underneath the mold and algae. I'm not sure they're gonna make it. On the other hand, on the other hand, these are younger seeds that I germinate at the same time, and they are doing pretty good. I'm sorry, I have to put my face here because my face looks too dark. Here, I'll show you. I start this the same time as that tray. But look at the baby. So cute. Hello, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And this is another example. I have 3 kinds of pansies sowing in this tray. And about, I think a couple weeks ago, I thought one of the variety don't have germination. So I moved them around to spread them out for them to have more space to grow. And end up that some of the older seed variety, they just germinate now, The newer seed already become an adult, but the older seed, just baby. So this is messed up. Now I don't know which variety is this, I probably transplant the baby out of this tray later when they big enough to be transplanted, to be moved. Speaking of spacing, everybody needs their own space, especially people in America, and I have become one of them too. We need more space so we can dance, and doesn't hit anybody. And also Snapdragon people too. I start these Snapdragons the same time, and you can see the difference in the size. This one is so bigger because I transplant them to a bigger pot. But this one, because they were like crowded when they were little, I just transplant them the other day, and then they're just catching up. And also, the more potting mix that you give to your seedling, the better, because they will have more nutrient to absorb. But again, potting mix is getting very, very expensive. So I don't know, I am still struggling, but there's a comment in my last video saying that, we can spend money to feed fiend, but we complaining that we are broke to buy potting mix. So that is like so true, we never thought about it. The ridiculous is coming up. Hello. There's one more here. Sweet pea. Hello. Today temperature is around 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's a cloudy day, which is perfect for the transition from indoor to outdoor. And the reason why we bring them outdoor now, because we want to train them to be strong, to fight the real world, okay? But at the same time, we don't want to bring them out on a sunny day because strong sunlight can hurt the foliage of our babies. And also, we don't want to bring them out in a very cold day or a very hot day because they will shock, and when they shock, they get sick and then they could die. And we also don't want to bring them out on a rainy day or windy day too, because that's gonna be too hard for them. We have to train them little by little. And that's why I put my babies here in this little courtyard, so they get some protection from this wall, and get little warmth from the house. Fresh air and sunlight will also help kill the algae and the mold on our blocks. The airflow will also help the stem of our babies to get stronger. It's like they are exercising. Today is so nice, so warm, so sunny. It's so good for my soul. However, it could be too strong for our babies because remember, they were inside like all the time since they was born. So I am going to let them get the sunlight for a few hours, and then I am going to move them to the shady location so they don't get shocked and get sick. I hear from some of you guys saying that your seedlings get stretched or leggy or like skinny and slender and splinter like me. You can technically do what I just did. Take your seedling outside and train them to be muscular and thicker and stronger. But if you cannot do that, you can keep your seedling inside, but give them some airflow. You can turn the fan on to create airflow. I put my fan on timer to turn on during the daytime, and it's gonna be on half hour, off 1 hour, on half hour, and then off 1 hour, and then until the end of the day. And put the light very close to the seedling, as close as possible. If you use LED light, you don't have to worry that the light will burn the seedlings. I just ordered some more 4-feet LED light because I am going to set up more shelf. You can get this from Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. You can treat mold and algae with cinnamon powder. Just sprinkle on the top. I doubted cinnamon powder before because I thought that it is just an internet scam. I thought that people are just trying to get more views for their Instagram or maybe Facebook. And also, I never saw any video showing the result of using cinnamon powder on seedling. And that's why I didn't believe it, but I actually tried a few years ago, and I also tried it this year too with my snapdragon and my lysanthes, and it works. And I have shown you guys before, but if you haven't seen that video, here I'll put it here for you to see, so you can actually believe me. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Now they get more as well as the algae. So I'm gonna add cinnamon on the... Oops, prevent the mold. About a couple days ago, I treated this seedling tray with cinnamon. The cinnamon also helps dry the surface of the soil. Plus I have the fan that helps with the airflow. The algae and the mold cannot survive dry surface. See, I am not lying and I am not a scam. Now you have to really believe me. And this cinnamon powder cost me only like $1 or $2 and resolved the whole world. Now I am brushing off the cinnamon powder from my baby a little bit so they can get the light from the grow light. You can also prevent mold and algae by bottom watering, by put the water right on the tray, not on top of the potting mix or on your seedling. But there are times that we have to water from the top too. It depends, but if you can avoid that, that will be helpful. And the airflow, the fan also help prevent the mold and algae too. I know watering is tricky. If you overwater your seedling, they will get mold and algae, or sometimes they get root rot. But if you underwater them, they can dry and then they will die. So you have to be like pretty careful at this stage. I like to make sure that my seedling block or seedling cell get water about half of the block or half of the tray. And that will make sure that the seedlings get water, but at the same time it will not make the top of the block or the cell too wet. That will promote the algae and mold. And you can also let the soil dry a little bit before you start watering them again. I let my babies, suffer maybe a day until I water them again, just to get the soil dry and to stop the condition that will promote the algae and mold. I usually don't feed my seedling with liquid fertilizer or anything because the potting mix that I use, the Miracle Grow, already has some fertilizer mixed in. It's like the yellow ball or pellet, that is already mixed in the mix. So if I put more fertilizer in for my seedling, then they can burn and then they, get sick and then could die. So I don't do that anymore. But if you use the potting mix that doesn't have fertilizer mixed in, you probably gonna, have to feed them a little bit just to have them get the nutrients so they can get strong. Temperature is also important for the seedling to germinate and also to survive, and you need to know the temperature requirement for each specific flowers. Everybody prefer different temperature. I like it hot, but some people like it cold. I am a summer person because I am from Thailand. So you need to know about your baby more, their preference, their requirement, and you can check the temperature that they need by holding the seed package. Put your right hand there, take a deep breath, and then synchronize the information to your brain. I am repeating this joke again. I'm sorry. You can technically just read the seed package or maybe go to Johnny Seed, and I already showed you, in the last video. Now, yeah, just Google the temperature of the seed that you are trying to grow or germinate. And the last thing to ensure the success is the sanitation of everything that you do with your babies. Remember, they are babies. Everything have to be clean. Otherwise, they will get diarrhea, and you don't want your baby to get diarrhea and get sick and die. Okay, so you have to clean all the tray, the cell tray, the plug tray, whatever you use. The soil need to be sterile soil that is clean. Don't use the soil that is like dirty, because that can lead to disease and all kinds of problems. Also, the water that you use too. Use clean water, okay? And make it as clean as possible. And it's a good habit. A lot of us think that water equals love, but water can kill our babies. And it can kill humans too. And you know what I mean, right? I felt this coleus because the temperature in my basement is pretty cold in winter time. And this baby, they are tropical plants. I also overwater it. And that's why they are dying. Oh, these are survivors. So I'm gonna give it more soil. And I'm gonna bring it upstairs where it's warmer. See, it's very, very wet. And you want to water them with room temperature water. Too cold or too hot water can make them suffer. And I'm gonna cut off these flowers because it takes the energy from the plants. And don't throw away the potting mix that you fail your seedling, because you can reuse this soil later when you make like a planter, or maybe you can dump this in your garden and it's full of nutrients. And to prove my point again, the importance of temperature, this begonia, I propagate them from cutting since fall. Some of the cutting I put in the basement, and this cutting I just feel like, I wanna keep one of them next to me when I am eating breakfast here. And this one is doing so much better than the one in the basement because the pot is bigger and also the temperature in this room is so much warmer than the basement. I know taking care of seedlings or taking care of someone or something can be a lot, but at the same time it's rewarding. Like this little flower bouquet, I have been taking care of them since Valentine's Day. And today is almost 3 weeks and they are still bloom beautifully right here in my breakfast room. Taking care of someone or something can be a lot, so I feel like it's smarter to I think it would be smarter if I get a jacket. Hold on. Alright, let's start over. What did I say? Taking care of someone or something can be a lot, and I feel like it would be smarter if we get some help. And to me, the best caretaker of our seedlings is Mother Nature. If we coordinate with her, okay? For example, my snapdragon here, in just a few days, with a little bit of sunshine, wind chill, and moisture from the rain, they grow so fast and so strong too. Look at them. Holy moly. Even this guy that they were so weak, now they are stronger. The Lysianthus is now visible. Before they are so teeny tiny. The mold and algae all disappear. Bye bye. I am going to try to make more informative video like this because I have learned from the comment section that there are a lot of beginners here who join my little cut flower growing journey, and you learn from my tips, my tricks, although some of them are pretty silly. And I also learned from the comment section too, because there are a lot of experienced gardeners here who are willing to share their expertise, detailed information, or sometimes, cover some point that I missed to cover in my video. And I also learned so much from the comment section too. And one more thing about the comment, the more comments I have, the more opportunity or possibility that YouTube will push or will promote my channel to more people like you. And that really helped me to promote my channel. So if you have some time, please leave me a comment or maybe like the video. And before I go, last thing, I want to say congratulations to the Sweet Pea BFF seeds winner. I am going to send the seed to you very, very soon. I feel like maybe tonight. Alright guys, see you again in the next video. Happy gardening!